Today's cover story looks at what's being called the Ray Rice video for the financial sector. Bloomberg View columnist Michael Lewis is referring to 46 hours of conversations between banking regulators and Goldman Sachs, secretly recorded by a Fed examiner who says she was fired for trying to blow the whistle on a conflict of interest. While bankers gripe about stricter regulations, recordings made by fired Fed examiner Carmen Segarra raise serious questions about whether the Fed has really changed enough to avert another financial disaster, according to This American Life. The public radio show recently delved into a Goldman Sachs deal discussed at length by Segarra's bosses, including Mike Silva, the head Fed official inside Goldman Sachs.
We're looking at a transaction that's legal but shady.
ProPublica reporter Jake Bernstein obtained the tapes exposing a questionable deal between Goldman Sachs and Banco Santander, which was being required to hold more capital. Goldman Sachs got around the rule by taking some assets off Santander's books to hold them for a couple years. Segarra's concerns didn't convince the Fed to block the deal.
This is really what people describe as regulatory capture, this idea that the regulators are too cozy with the banks that they're actually regulating.
Segarra, a Harvard-educated lawyer, was hired after a confidential 2009 report suggested the Fed bring in examiners who would speak out and contradict their bosses. She recorded the conversations using a hidden mic and a keychain while overseeing Goldman Sachs, and she says she was fired for being too aggressive.
I think you take a disgruntled employee with 46 hours of tape. That's the beginning to any beautiful conspiracy.
Trader Todd Colvin says it's no surprise banks find ways to circumnavigate certain Fed obstacles and doubts the tapes will have any impact.
Is this a damning video to the Fed? No, I don't think it is ultimately going to be any sort of a mark against them moving forward. And if it were, the markets would already be telling you that.
Goldman Sachs closed last at 183.83 and is up more than 14% from October 2013, when Segarra filed her wrongful termination lawsuit. That suit alleged that the Federal Reserve Bank of New York ousted Segarra for refusing to go soft on the investment banking behemoth. The Fed has denied any wrongdoing in the case, and so has Goldman Sachs, which is not a defendant in the suit.